In my 6 years of teaching beginner artists how to draw, there's one skill that I see over and over again that helps beginner artists improve 10 times faster. And that skill is the willingness to do bad drawings. Now, I know that's way easier said than done. Just telling you to be willing to do bad drawings isn't very helpful. So here are 3 mindset shifts I want you to look out for, 3 things that you can play around with that will give you way more freedom in your drawing practice. The first mindset I want you to look out for is black or white thinking. Do you think of all drawings as either good or bad, or is there a range? Are all of your drawings bad while everyone else's drawing is good? Is this the way that you think about drawing? Or are you able to acknowledge that some parts of your drawings are good? Some aspect, maybe one single line is good, and that there is this range within drawings. Is there a gray scale between good or bad? So grab your most recent drawing or your sketchbook page or drawing exercise and look at it for a second and give it a percent. What percent bad is it? Or what percent good is it? Maybe you are more on the positive end. What percentage would you give it? Give it a rating, right? And the worst you're allowed to give yourself is 98%. No drawing is 100% bad. And if you're not able to see that there's at least 2% of good there, then this is an issue. Then you are thinking about things in black or white terms. No drawings are ever 100% bad, and no drawings are ever 100% good. It's always a gray scale. So now look at your drawing, look at your most recent drawing, and give it a single compliment. Find a compliment in your sketchbook. Like, go through your entire sketchbook right now and find small things that you like about it. You can even rate them yourself if you want to, if you really want to take this to the next level. But just make sure that you acknowledge that there's some good within your drawings. Because if you are able to see a little bit of good in every single drawing, then you have so much more room to experiment. You will give yourself more freedom, because when you do a bad drawing that is, let's say, 80% bad, you're still willing to acknowledge the 20% that is good within it, which gives you so much more room to experiment. It'll give you so much more freedom. This is a skill that I've been working on actively because I used to be a perfectionist. And this helps me a ton. If I sit down and look at a drawing and I feel yucky about it, if I feel like, oh, this drawing isn't good enough, I will take a moment and write some compliments about the drawing. Or it might not even just be about the drawing. It might be the fact that I took the time to sit down and draw. I made time for my drawing practice, and I give myself that positive reinforcement of saying, this is worth it. If you always feel negatively about your drawings, if all your drawings are horrible, they're bad, they're ugly, then why would you ever sit down to draw? You might enjoy doing bad drawings, then it's still fun. But for a lot of people, if they judge their drawings as just bad, then the drawing practice will not be sustainable, because it's not fun. It's not fun to always feel like you're failing. So let's start to acknowledge some of the good within the drawings. Sit down right now, write some compliments. And if you do my 54 free drawing exercises that are linked below, then make sure to do this. Every time you do a drawing exercise, every time you use one of the free worksheets, just write some compliments, even if you do poorly on them, right? Be willing to do them poorly and then give yourself a couple of compliments, because this willingness to experiment and be adventurous, this reinforcement that nothing is 100% bad, will give you so much more freedom and will help you improve, because it becomes an adventure. When you're willing to do bad drawings and have fun with it because you never feel 100% bad about them, then it gives you all of this room to play, and it will energize the practice. If you are a beginner artist who's been falling off, if drawing on a regular basis has been very hard, if you're someone who's watched a ton of YouTube videos but don't draw very often, it probably is because you're judging the drawings really harshly. You're probably bringing a lot of shame to the practice and feeling bad about it, so it's not as fun anymore. Remember when you first started drawing, was it fun? It probably was. There was probably a honeymoon phase that you went through where you were drawing a ton, and all of it was lots of fun because you weren't judging it very heavily. Then as your skills grew, you started judging things against your better drawings, and then you started to say like, oh, this drawing is bad because it's not as good as this previous drawing I did 6 months ago. But if you're always comparing in this way, do you really think that you'll be able to sit down and have fun with drawing? No, right? And this mentality that you're going to use shame and guilt and heavy judgment to improve is just not sustainable. It's not the way to approach drawing. Let's have fun with it. You can improve drawing while having tons of fun, while making it feel like an adventure, and black or white thinking will get in the way of this. So if you are someone who tends to think of things in black or white terms, make sure to create that grayscale, right? Do it slowly. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but start giving yourself small compliments. Start rating your drawings out of 100, but you're not allowed to say that something's 100% bad. At worst, it's 98% bad. So make sure to focus on the 2% that is good within the drawing. The second mindset I want you to keep an eye out for is having a double standard. Do you have specific expectations of yourself that you wouldn't put on anyone else? The reason I start off my inner artist course with writing out our expectations and then rewriting them as if we're putting them on a friend is because a lot of the times we carry special expectations of ourselves that we wouldn't actually apply to anyone else. We have a certain standard for us and different standard for everyone else. And this can really warp our perspective of our own practice. It can really get in the way of enjoying the practice if you think that you should be special in some way. And this can also go the other way. And sometimes it's, I need to be special by improving faster than everyone else. And sometimes it's, oh, I'm so untalented. You know, there's a judgment around being untalented. That is also a double standard. Look at your drawings and ask yourself, if I saw someone else draw this, would I encourage them? Can I give myself the same encouragement that I would give someone else? Or do I have very different expectations for myself because, oh, it's me. I can't be nice to myself. I don't deserve to be nice to myself. Do you have that expectation? Like, do you have that tendency? Sit with that for a moment and really think about it. Look at your drawings, look at all the things that you've done, and ask yourself, what would I say if someone else drew this? And be honest with yourself. If you are someone who struggles with double standards, I highly recommend that you actually write out your expectations and be honest with yourself about how you see those expectations. Sit with them, grapple with them, journal them out. This isn't something that you can just do in your head. This is something that needs to be done on paper because you want to come back over and over again. So in your sketchbook right now, just start writing out certain expectations you have of yourself. And if you've never sat down and actually grappled with your expectations before, this can be a bit jarring because what you're going to realize is that a lot of the negative feelings that you have in the art practice come from the expectations that you hold. They might not be as tangible at first, they might be a little bit cloudy, but as you start writing them out, they become more and more tangible, which means that you can actually actively change them. This isn't something that you're going to change overnight, but it's worth sitting with, it's worth grappling with. It will give you so much more freedom once you actually understand your expectations and which ones you want to change. You can slowly change that inner critical voice, that voice from teachers and parents and all that. You can change that voice slowly over time, and that will allow you to do way more bad drawings and actually enjoy the practice. The third mindset that I want you to keep an eye out for is magical thinking. A lot of beginner artists fall into this trap where they assume the reason why they're not having fun with their drawing practice, the reason why they're not fulfilled in the practice, is because they don't have the technical abilities of masters just yet, and that they'll have fun once they become a master. If I just study for the next 2 years and really get the grind, work really, really hard, then I'll have fun in 2 years. I'm just lacking a skill. Instead of realizing that having fun in the practice is a skill in itself, and you'll always feel like there's more ways to improve. You're always going to feel like drawing is a challenge and that there's more to learn. Like as you learn more, your bar just increases with you. It doesn't magically just stay there. You never meet that bar. Just look at any other aspect of life and anything else you've improved in. Have you ever felt like, oh, I've improved enough? As you improve, your bar raises with you, which is part of the fun. That is part of the adventure. So learning to have fun now is the skill that you want to learn. Instead of having this magical idea that you're just going to feel creatively free without any fears, without any risk, instead of having that false illusion, you want to let go of all that and realize right now that as a beginner artist, you're already having a lot of the same experiences that you will have for the rest of your creative journey. A lot of the same challenges will still be there. Your technical skills will improve, and that does feel good, but you will still keep wanting to improve more. And the best way to improve more is to actually learn to have fun. So you might as well grapple with that here and now instead of putting it off into the future. Being a creative person is always going to feel like a risk. It's part of the beauty of being a creative person is the risk. It's the challenge of it. That is the adventure. So if you are someone who's been hoping that drawing practice will get way easier in the future, I highly recommend that you sit down, grapple with your expectations, write them out, and realize that a lot of the joy that's available in the practice is available from the beginning. You do not have to put it off into the future. And the funny thing is, the more you learn to enjoy it as a beginner, the more you learn how to do bad drawings, the faster you will improve and the faster you will get to the place of mastery. Masters did not get to mastery just by forcing themselves to do exercises that they don't care about. If you do my 54 free drawing exercises, I highly recommend that you do them from a place of joy. Do them from a place of interest. And don't expect that in the future, when these drawing exercises become easy, that is the place to enjoy it. No. I want you to enjoy it while doing them poorly. remember, they can be 98% bad, and it's still a good thing. Now, if you are someone who wants to improve rapidly, check out this video right here where I talk about the 3 lessons that I had to learn the hard way that I hope a lot of my students can just avoid altogether. Check that video out right here, and also I'll see you in the Absolute Everything bundle when you are ready.